Hey friend, I'm really glad you're here. I know you may be tired. I know you may be carrying things you haven't said out loud. Maybe you've been strong for a long time, or maybe today just feels heavier than usual. But right now you're not alone. God is here with you in this moment. He sees you exactly where you are, and He knows what's been weighing on your heart. So take a slow breath, let your shoulders relax, and allow yourself to be here without pressure, without striving, without trying to have the right words. Father, we come before you just as we are. We don't come pretending, we don't come performing, we don't come with everything figured out. We come because you are faithful, and because your presence meets us right where we are. You are the Most High God, above every power, above every authority, above every situation we are facing. Nothing in our lives is hidden from you. Nothing has caught you off guard. Nothing is too heavy for your hands or too complex for your wisdom. And right now, we place ourselves under your care. We choose to dwell in you. Not only when life is calm, not only when answers are clear, but right here in the middle of real life. You are our refuge. You are our shelter. You are our God, and we trust you. Even when trust feels quiet, even when faith feels stretched, even when we don't understand what you're doing yet, we lean into you instead of pulling away. We choose faith over fear. We choose trust over worry. We choose to rest in who you are. Lord, cover us. Protect us from what we see and from what we don't see. Guard our lives from hidden traps, unseen dangers, and quiet attacks that try to slip in unnoticed. Expose what needs to be exposed. Stop what needs to be stopped. Interrupt every plan formed against our peace, our families, our health, and our future. Let nothing meant to harm us succeed. Surround us with your protection, and let fear lose its grip. Let anxiety loosen its hold. Let our hearts settle in the safety of your presence. Go before us and clear the way. Stand beside us and strengthen us. Remain behind us and cover what we cannot protect ourselves. We do not fear the night or what it brings. We do not fear the day or what it demands. We do not fear sudden trouble or unexpected challenges, because you are with us. You are watching over us. You are keeping us. We have made you our dwelling place, and because of that, we are not exposed, we are not vulnerable, and we are not unguarded. Father, command your angels concerning us. Let them guard us in every way. Protect our steps. Protect our decisions. Protect our movements and our timing. Shield our minds from thoughts that overwhelm us. Shield our hearts from discouragement, bitterness, and heaviness. Restore what feels worn down. Heal what has been quietly hurting. Strengthen what feels weak. You are our shepherd, and in you we lack nothing. You lead us into peace when our thoughts feel crowded. You lead us into rest when our bodies feel tired. You restore us when life has slowly drained us. Even when the road ahead feels unclear, even when answers feel delayed, we choose not to fear. Your presence steadies us. Your authority reassures us. Your guidance keeps us grounded. You prepare provision even when pressure surrounds us. You supply what we need, often in ways we don't expect. Your goodness follows us. Your mercy surrounds us. Your favor rests on our lives. Father, we lift up every home connected to this prayer. Every room, every doorway, every space where these words are being heard. Let your presence fill those homes. Let peace replace anxiety. Let calm settle where tension has lived. Remove anything that does not belong. By the blood of Jesus, we declare that these homes are covered. They are not open to fear. They are not open to darkness. They belong to you. Place your angels at every entrance. Let them guard and protect, preventing what we cannot foresee and stopping what we cannot detect. We lift families before you. Parents, children, spouses, siblings, loved ones near and far. Cover them. Guard their minds, their bodies, and their paths. Protect our children wherever they are. When they are out of our sight, they are never out of yours. Guard their steps. Guard their hearts. Guard their future. Protect relationships. Protect marriages. Remove division, misunderstanding, and tension. Restore peace where strain has existed. Restore connection where distance has grown. Protect our minds from fear and confusion. Quiet anxious thoughts. Bring peace to troubled hearts. Strengthen weary bodies. Renew discouraged spirits. Protect us as we move through our days. Guard our steps. Guard our timing. Keep us from accidents, missteps, and unnecessary trouble. Order our steps according to your will. Protect the work of our hands. Where loss has threatened, intervene. Where pressure has increased, bring relief. Where uncertainty has weighed heavily, bring peace. Preserve our health. Strengthen our bodies. Let healing begin where weakness has lingered. Let restoration take place where balance has been disrupted. We declare that no weapon formed against us will prosper. Words spoken against us lose their power. Plans formed against us do not succeed. Attacks meant to harm us are turned away. Father God, you are steady and present in every detail of our lives. You see the weight we carry, the responsibilities before us, and the thoughts that quietly shape our days. Nothing about us is hidden from you, and nothing we face is outside of your awareness or care. You understand what presses on us when no one else sees it, and you meet us there with patience, wisdom, and strength. Protect our hearts from disappointment hardening into bitterness. When expectations aren't met, when plans shift, when people let us down, help us process honestly without becoming closed off. Teach us how to stay open and wise at the same time. Remain close as circumstances change, when routines shift, when seasons transition, when familiar patterns give way to something new. Anchor us in you so that change doesn't unsettle us internally. Keep us flexible without feeling unstable, secure without becoming rigid. Father, shape our priorities. Help us recognize what truly matters. Remove distractions that drain us emotionally and mentally. Teach us how to steward our time, our energy, and our focus well. Align our days with what brings life, peace, and purpose. Stay present in ordinary moments, in quiet spaces, in tasks that don't feel significant. Remind us that you are just as near there as you are in moments of intensity or breakthrough. Let awareness of you become natural, steady, and woven into the rhythm of our lives. Father God, you see the deeper layers of our lives, the parts shaped over time, the patterns formed quietly, the habits of thought and emotion that influence how we move through the world. You understand what has been learned, what has been carried, and what has been absorbed through experience. Nothing about us is accidental to you. Every detail is known, every season accounted for, every process understood. You see where we have adapted just to survive, where we have learned to brace ourselves instead of rest, where we have become cautious because disappointment once felt too heavy. Gently work in those places, not forcing change, not rushing healing, but steadily reshaping what no longer serves peace, restoring what was worn down, and strengthening what has been fragile for too long. Be present in the places where our confidence has been tested, where mistakes linger in memory, where past outcomes try to influence present decisions. Help us separate wisdom from fear. Help us move forward without dragging old weight into new moments. Teach us how to learn without being defined by what is already past. Lord, steady our inner world when external demands increase. When expectations multiply, when responsibility grows heavier, help us remain centered, not scattered. Focused, not overwhelmed. Let your peace function like an anchor inside us, keeping us grounded even when circumstances pull in different directions. Guard our hearts from emotional overload, from absorbing stress that doesn't belong to us, from carrying concerns that were never meant to settle in our spirits. Teach us how to release pressure as it builds instead of letting it accumulate. Show us how to recognize early signs of fatigue and respond with care rather than pushing past healthy limits. Father, guide us through moments of internal conflict, when part of us wants to move forward and part of us wants to retreat, when uncertainty creates hesitation, when clarity feels just out of reach. Bring alignment between our hearts, our minds, and our actions. Let confusion give way to understanding in its time. Be present in how we relate to ourselves, in our inner dialogue, in the way we interpret our own efforts and shortcomings. Quiet harsh self-judgment. Replace it with truth and perspective. Help us see ourselves accurately, neither inflated nor diminished, grounded in grace, aware of growth, patient with process. Remain close in moments when emotions surface unexpectedly, when memories resurface, when feelings rise without warning. Help us respond with awareness instead of resistance. Teach us how to acknowledge what we feel without being controlled by it. Let emotional maturity develop naturally as we learn to stay present and grounded. Lord, shape our resilience. Not a resilience built on numbness or denial, but one rooted in trust, adaptability, and steady faith. Help us recover well from stress. Help us reset after difficult days. Let strength be renewed rather than depleted as we learn to lean on you consistently. Be present in our thinking patterns, where worry tries to loop, where overthinking creates unnecessary weight. Interrupt cycles that lead to exhaustion. Teach us how to recognize when thoughts drift toward fear and how to gently redirect them back to truth and peace. Let mental clarity become familiar to us. Father, guide us in how we carry responsibility. Help us hold it with wisdom, not pressure. Teach us how to be dependable without being overextended. Let us recognize when it's time to act and when it's time to rest. Protect us from burnout disguised as faithfulness. Remain present in our growth, in the areas where change feels slow, in the habits we're trying to reshape, in the disciplines we're learning to maintain. Remind us that progress is not always loud or obvious. Let patience take root where frustration has tried to settle. Guard our hearts in moments of success. Keep us grounded. Keep us grateful. Protect us from pride that disconnects and insecurity that diminishes. Let balance remain as circumstances shift, allowing us to move through highs and lows with the same steady awareness of you. Lord, guide us relationally at a deeper level. Help us recognize patterns we bring into relationships. Heal areas where trust was strained. Restore healthy attachment where distance formed. Teach us how to connect without fear of loss, how to love without overextending ourselves, how to remain open while staying wise. Be present in moments of silence, when nothing needs to be said, when stillness feels unfamiliar. Teach us how to sit with quiet without filling it with noise or distraction. Let stillness become a place of renewal rather than discomfort. Father, protect our hearts from subtle discouragement, the kind that doesn't arrive loudly but slowly erodes motivation. Help us notice it early. Replace it with steady encouragement and quiet strength. Let hope remain active, even when circumstances don't immediately shift. Remain close as we navigate responsibility toward others, toward family, toward work, toward commitments we've made. Help us honor what we've been given without losing ourselves in the process. Teach us how to serve without resentment and lead without pressure. Be present in moments of uncertainty about the future, when plans feel undefined, when direction feels incomplete. Help us trust the unfolding rather than forcing outcomes. Let peace exist even when timelines aren't clear. Father, guide us in how we process disappointment. When outcomes differ from expectation, when effort doesn't produce immediate results, help us grieve honestly without becoming discouraged. Teach us how to reset hope without suppressing reality. Remain near in moments of vulnerability, when defenses lower, when emotions are tender, when honesty feels risky. Protect us in those moments. Surround us with wisdom and discernment so vulnerability leads to healing, not harm. Guard our hearts against becoming hardened by repeated stress. Keep us soft without being fragile, strong without being rigid, flexible without losing foundation. Let maturity develop through experience rather than through emotional withdrawal. Be present as our identity continues to take shape, as understanding deepens, as confidence grows quietly. Help us remain rooted in truth rather than performance. Let who we are be grounded in you rather than in outcomes or approval. Father, continue to surround us in your presence. Be close in the quiet moments when we feel unseen, when the world moves too fast, and when it seems that our efforts go unnoticed. Let your awareness of us remind us that nothing escapes your attention, nothing is too small for your care, and nothing about our lives is beyond your influence. Meet us in the spaces where we carry weight silently, in the moments when fear tries to press in the corners of our minds where doubt lingers quietly, and in the stretches of our hearts that long for reassurance. Remain near as life demands more than we think we can give. Help us to navigate responsibilities that pull in multiple directions. Keep us steady when expectations feel heavy. Let our energy be renewed naturally rather than forced, and let our endurance grow not from pressure, but from your strength moving through us. Teach us how to pace ourselves, how to discern what requires immediate attention, and how to release what does not belong to our care. Shape our perception, so that we do not carry burdens that are not ours to carry, and let our focus remain aligned with what brings life, peace, and growth. Be present in every thought, Father, in the quiet mental loops that replay endlessly, in the conversations we anticipate, in the fears we imagine. Teach us how to redirect our focus from what is uncertain or impossible to what is real, what is present, and what is within our ability to address. Let clarity take the place of mental noise. Let calm replace restless anxiety. Let us be able to distinguish between what we can act on and what we should entrust fully to you. Protect our minds from being trapped in worry or fear, from overthinking that leads to fatigue, and from letting imagined scenarios cloud the peace you intend for us. Guard our hearts as well, Lord. Keep us from being hardened by repeated challenges. Keep our emotions tender enough to receive joy, yet strong enough to withstand disappointment without breaking. Help us to respond to circumstances with awareness rather than reaction. Protect us from bitterness, from resentment, from allowing past offenses to shape present attitudes. Restore joy where it has been drained. Bring peace into spaces of tension. Teach us how to carry our emotions without being carried by them, and how to express what we feel in ways that honor you and foster healthy relationships with others. Remain with us in our bodies, Lord, where fatigue has accumulated, where stress has taken a physical toll, where tension has held the muscles and drained vitality. Restore strength where weakness has set in. Bring healing where stress, strain, or sickness has lingered. Help us to honor the bodies you have given us, to rest when needed, to nourish and move with care, and to respond to their signals with wisdom and gentleness. Let our health be maintained and restored in ways that allow us to engage fully with life, work, family, and ministry without being hindered by preventable weariness or strain. Guide us in our steps, Lord, as we move through daily responsibilities, decisions, and interactions. Let discernment govern our choices, patience guide our reactions, and awareness shape our actions. Protect us from unnecessary dangers, from accidents, from missteps, and from moments of impulsivity that could bring harm. Help us navigate both visible challenges and invisible ones with your guidance. Keep our paths clear where you would lead us forward, and help us avoid where harm could be hidden or subtle. Let every step we take be covered, steady, and aligned with your purposes for our lives. Be present as we interact with others. Teach us how to communicate with clarity, honesty, and gentleness. Protect our words from causing harm unintentionally. Help us listen fully before speaking. Guard our relationships from misunderstandings that could have been avoided through patience and grace. Protect us from influences that seek to sow discord. Help us nurture connection, unity, and understanding where relationships feel fragile or stretched. Let reconciliation, forgiveness, and mutual respect guide our interactions. Remain present in our spiritual awareness, Lord. Protect our hearts from distractions that dull sensitivity to your voice. Guard us against complacency in prayer, in worship, and in seeking your guidance. Keep our faith active, our devotion steady, and our awareness of your presence continual. Even in mundane or repetitive moments, remind us that you are close, that you are listening, and that you are moving on our behalf in ways we cannot yet see. Guide us in how we manage our time and resources. Help us recognize what is most important. Protect us from waste, distraction, and misalignment of priorities. Give wisdom in how we spend energy, attention, and effort. Keep our focus on tasks that carry lasting value, relationships that foster growth, and responsibilities that honor you and promote peace. Help us see clearly where effort is needed, where discernment is required, and where rest or release is necessary. Be close in moments of temptation, Lord. Protect us from decisions that seem easy but lead to harm. Guard our hearts from being swayed by fear, pride, or impulse. Help us navigate challenges without yielding to destructive patterns. Let your guidance be the compass we follow, steadying our steps in ways that honor you and strengthen our integrity. Remain near as we process life's uncertainties. When the future feels unclear, when plans are delayed, when outcomes are not as expected, teach us to trust in the unfolding, to rely on your timing, and to walk with confidence even when answers are not immediate. Protect our hearts from impatience, from worry, and from allowing circumstances to dictate our peace. Help us hold hope steadily, even in the quiet, slow moments of waiting. Guard us from subtle pressures that accumulate unnoticed. The little things that pile on mentally, emotionally, and physically until they feel overwhelming. Help us recognize them, address them, and release them as appropriate. Teach us how to prioritize without guilt, how to engage without overextension, and how to remain present without distraction. Let balance become second nature as we navigate multiple demands simultaneously. Protect our identity, Lord, from internal doubts that question our worth, from external pressures that try to redefine us. Keep us rooted in your truth, in the value you have placed upon us, and in the calling you have given us. Let confidence grow quietly and steadily, not from comparison, not from approval, but from awareness of your continual presence and faithfulness. Protect us from being shaken by criticism, misunderstanding, or unmet expectations. Let our sense of self remain anchored in you. Remain active in shaping our inner world, the habits, patterns, and rhythms that govern our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Help us develop routines and mindsets that promote peace, clarity, and strength. Guide us to maintain focus when attention drifts. Protect us from cynicism, doubt, or discouragement that tries to take root. Let our hearts, minds, and spirits be attuned to your influence, steady in presence and responsive to your guidance. Be present in moments of challenge. When obstacles appear unexpectedly. When interactions with others feel complex or strained. When personal limitations press in. Help us face these moments without being overwhelmed, without retreating, and without responding out of fear. Give us wisdom to navigate circumstances with calm, discernment, and courage. Remind us that even in difficulty, you are active, moving, and sustaining us. Protect us from internal conflict, from battles of thought, emotion, or doubt that remain hidden. Teach us how to recognize conflict without being consumed by it. Help us integrate understanding, restore clarity, and maintain peace within ourselves even while situations remain unsettled. Let internal harmony become familiar and accessible, regardless of external pressures. Remain present in our everyday moments, in small interactions, in ordinary tasks, in repeated patterns that may feel mundane. Let your influence be constant, shaping our habits, responses, and awareness without fanfare. Let your presence transform routine into rhythm, ordinariness into opportunity, and repetition into refinement. Keep us mindful of you even when life feels ordinary, repetitive, or slow. Guide our energy and attention. Protect our focus from distraction. Help us stay on task without becoming rigid. Give us discernment to know when to pause, when to engage, and when to release. Protect our priorities from being shifted by external noise or internal confusion. Let steadiness and clarity be our default rather than chaos or fatigue. Be present as we encounter people, tasks, and moments that test patience. Teach us how to respond with awareness rather than reflex. Help us navigate conflict without losing perspective. Protect us from being reactive in ways that harm ourselves or others. Strengthen our ability to remain calm, thoughtful, and deliberate even when pressures rise. Remain near as our thoughts move quickly, as responsibilities shift, as life unfolds. Stay present in the quiet, the ordinary, and the unseen shaping that occurs continuously. Let your influence be consistent, natural, and deeply sustaining in every part of our minds, hearts, and bodies. Let your presence remain active in ways that strengthen us, guide us, and protect us as life continues moment by moment, detail by detail. Father, move within every moment of our lives, even when we are unaware. Let your presence occupy the spaces that feel empty, fill the corners of our minds that feel scattered, and touch the hidden places of our hearts where fear, doubt, or worry might linger. Protect every thought, every intention, every impulse. Guard the quiet decisions that form the trajectory of our days. Help us to respond with wisdom rather than reaction, with faith rather than fear, with awareness rather than autopilot. Let our lives become a reflection of your care, not through our striving, but through your guidance and sustaining presence. Remain near as we face obligations that weigh on us. Guide our energy, our focus, and our strength. Protect us from being overwhelmed by the demands of work, family, or community. Teach us how to navigate responsibilities without being consumed by them. Help us maintain balance in moments where pressures collide and expectations feel impossible. Let calmness govern our thoughts and clarity direct our actions. Strengthen us quietly, steadily, and continuously as life unfolds in ways that require attention, discernment, and presence. Be present in every interaction, Father. Protect us from misunderstandings and missteps. Guide our words, tone, and intentions. Guard the spaces between ourselves and others so that connection, understanding, and patience can flourish. Keep us from saying things we will later regret. Shield us from interpreting situations in ways that foster division. Teach us how to listen fully before responding, to speak truth with gentleness, and to act with integrity in every circumstance. Let our relationships reflect your presence, protection, and wisdom, even in subtle ways that others notice without realizing why. Remain close as we process challenges, unexpected changes, and the unforeseen complications that life brings. Protect our hearts from frustration, anxiety, or the pressure to control outcomes. Let perspective arise where confusion would otherwise overwhelm. Guide our decisions and protect our steps from misalignment with what you have intended. Teach us patience when results are delayed, resilience when circumstances feel heavy, and clarity when the path ahead is unclear. Let your presence move through every hesitation, every worry, every unspoken concern, shaping us, steadying us, and reminding us that you are always active in our lives. Guard our inner thoughts and reflections, Lord. Protect our minds from spiraling cycles of doubt, overthinking, and imagined problems. Shield our hearts from carrying burdens that are not ours to carry. Help us release what cannot be changed. Guide us to discern between what requires action and what must be surrendered into your care. Let calm, clarity, and peace fill our internal world. Shape our thinking patterns to align with your truth, reinforcing faith, hope, and perseverance. Be present in the quiet and ordinary moments. Protect us from underestimating the importance of small actions, minor choices, and unnoticed words. Let your presence fill the daily routines, bringing life, awareness, and purpose into places that might otherwise feel mundane. Guide our attention so that even simple tasks are performed with mindfulness, care, and reflection. Help us recognize opportunities for growth, for kindness, and for alignment with your will, even when they appear subtle or hidden. Remain active in guarding our emotions, Lord. Protect us from being swept away by fleeting feelings, from allowing temporary frustrations to shape lasting attitudes, and from letting negative patterns harden our hearts. Teach us how to experience emotions without being controlled by them, how to release tension, and how to integrate understanding without bitterness. Strengthen our resilience, nurture our capacity for joy, and keep hope alive even in the quiet moments when we may feel unnoticed, tired, or burdened. Be near in the ways we care for ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Protect our health, our rest, and our energy. Strengthen what feels weak or worn down. Restore vitality where fatigue has settled. Guide our choices around nourishment, movement, and rest so that our bodies can support the work, the relationships, and the responsibilities entrusted to us. Teach us to respect our limits without guilt, to slow down when needed, and to seek restoration in ways that align with your care. Remain close in moments of temptation or distraction. Protect us from choices that would harm, mislead, or divert us from your path. Guard our hearts, our minds, and our spirits from subtle compromises that seem harmless but could shift our direction. Teach us discernment in every decision, awareness in every choice, and patience in every impulse. Let integrity rise naturally in our actions, decisions, and interactions. Protect us from yielding to fear, pride, or impulse, and help us navigate every challenge with clarity and calm. Be active in shaping our perspective, Lord. Protect us from being overwhelmed by uncertainty, from allowing delays to breed frustration, and from letting unanswered questions dominate our focus. Guide our understanding so that we can see progress even in slow seasons, hope even when circumstances feel stalled, and assurance even when the path ahead is unclear. Remind us that your timing is perfect, your plan is secure, and your presence is constant. Let our eyes remain fixed on what is steady and unchanging, while our trust grows in ways that cannot be shaken. Remain present as we navigate pressures and demands from work, family, and community. Protect our ability to remain patient, focused, and effective without being consumed. Guide our priorities, clarify what is most important, and shield us from unnecessary worry or distraction. Teach us how to engage fully without overextending ourselves, how to manage responsibilities without losing perspective, and how to respond to challenges with calm, confidence, and wisdom. Let balance become natural as we move through the overlapping demands of life. Guard our hearts as we encounter conflict, tension, or opposition. Protect our emotional responses so we do not react in ways that harm ourselves or others. Teach us how to remain grounded, patient, and deliberate. Let understanding, empathy, and grace guide our actions. Protect us from internalizing criticism or resentment, and help us respond in ways that honor you. Strengthen our ability to maintain composure, clarity, and discernment in the midst of challenge, and let our words and actions reflect your truth, love, and wisdom. Be near in our spiritual awareness. Protect our hearts from distraction, complacency, or discouragement. Keep our faith active, our devotion steady, and our awareness of your presence constant. Let your guidance be clear without being overbearing, subtle without being missed, and sustaining without being forced. Guard our trust, reinforce our hope, and strengthen our perseverance. Teach us how to maintain connection with you in every part of our day, even when life is busy, ordinary, or challenging. Remain close in our management of resources, time, and energy. Protect us from misallocation, misjudgment, or overcommitment. Teach us how to invest attention, effort, and resources wisely. Guard our focus from being diverted by distractions or undue pressure. Strengthen our ability to balance what must be done, what can be delegated, and what must be surrendered into your care. Let our priorities reflect wisdom, our choices reflect discernment, and our actions reflect your guidance. Be present in how we handle uncertainty, delay, or change. Protect our hearts from fear, doubt, or frustration when the path is unclear. Guard our minds from spinning in worry or anticipation. Teach us how to navigate change with patience, how to respond to delay with faith, and how to maintain clarity in moments of unpredictability. Let your presence provide stability where circumstances shift, reassurance where outcomes are unknown, and direction where decisions seem complex. Remain active in our inner world. Protect our thoughts, emotions, and intentions from negative influence. Guard our subconscious patterns from cycles of doubt, fear, or worry. Strengthen our mental resilience, deepen our emotional awareness, and align our intentions with your will. Help us cultivate thoughts that promote peace, clarity, hope, and confidence. Shape our inner life so that it naturally reflects your guidance, protection, and sustaining presence. Be near as we navigate relationships, responsibilities, and opportunities. Protect our interactions from misunderstanding, miscommunication, and unnecessary conflict. Guide our words, actions, and decisions so that they reflect awareness, wisdom, and love. Let grace, patience, and discernment govern our behavior. Shield us from influences that seek to disrupt connection, understanding, or trust. Let our relationships grow in stability, alignment, and harmony, even when challenges arise. Remain present in the ordinary, repetitive, and unremarkable moments of life. Guard our attention from distraction. Teach us to find significance, awareness, and purpose even in tasks that feel mundane. Let your influence be felt in the small choices, the daily routines, and the moments that often go unnoticed. Strengthen our consistency, heighten our mindfulness, and deepen our responsiveness. Let even the ordinary become infused with your presence and guidance, shaping us continuously without interruption. Protect our spirits as we move through days, weeks, and months. Guard against discouragement, distraction, or slow erosion of faith. Strengthen our resolve, deepen our trust, and steady our hearts. Let your influence be consistent, steady, and sustaining. Keep us aligned with your will even when circumstances are unpredictable. Guide our internal responses so that we remain resilient, focused, and aware, continually drawing from your strength, wisdom, and care. Be active in shaping our capacity for rest, reflection, and renewal. Protect us from rushing unnecessarily. Guard our moments of stillness from intrusion or distraction. Teach us how to pause, how to breathe, and how to integrate what we experience without losing momentum. Let rest and reflection become natural extensions of your presence rather than interruptions. Strengthen our ability to reset, restore, and recharge even in the midst of responsibilities, tasks, or obligations. Remain close in shaping how we approach challenges and opportunities. Protect our ability to act decisively, respond calmly, and discern wisely. Guide our awareness so that we recognize solutions, opportunities, and insight even when they appear subtle or hidden. Guard our patience so that we wait without anxiety, act without haste, and trust without reservation. Let every decision, response, and choice reflect your guidance, protection, and wisdom, continually moment by moment. Father, continue to surround every part of our lives with your presence. Remain near in ways that are unseen yet unmistakable. Protect the spaces we enter, the places we dwell, and the paths we follow. Let your awareness extend into moments we cannot predict, into interactions we cannot control, and into thoughts we have yet to fully process. Guard us from what is visible and what is invisible, from what is loud and what is subtle, from what is obvious and what is hidden. Let your protection and guidance stretch over every part of our lives, silently shaping outcomes and guarding every detail. Remain close as we move through responsibilities that feel never-ending. Teach us to manage what must be managed and to release what belongs to you. Protect our energy, so we do not exhaust ourselves unnecessarily. Guide our attention, so we focus on what matters most. Remain present in the small decisions as much as the large ones. Shape our responses to pressures, deadlines, and expectations in ways that preserve our peace and integrity. Let discernment guide our actions, patience guide our reactions, and wisdom influence every choice. Be with us in the quiet moments that seem insignificant but carry weight. Protect our hearts from absorbing frustration that is not ours to carry. Guard our minds from replaying things that cannot be changed. Let our spirits rest in your assurance that you are moving even when we do not see it. Fill the silent spaces in our day with your presence, so that even the ordinary becomes imbued with your awareness. Let us sense your nearness in ways that are subtle but transformative, guiding us to peace, clarity, and calm. Guide us in our emotional responses, Lord. Keep us from being overwhelmed by sadness, fear, or anxiety. Teach us to hold strong while remaining tender. Protect us from internalizing the pressures, expectations, and disappointments that surround us. Let resilience grow quietly, rooted in your presence rather than in our own striving. Strengthen our ability to respond rather than react, to remain calm instead of becoming agitated, and to maintain perspective when circumstances feel heavy. Let our hearts be steady, our minds clear, and our spirits assured. Remain near as we process interactions with others. Guide our words, our tone, and our intention. Protect our relationships from miscommunication, misjudgment, or misunderstanding. Help us listen fully, speak thoughtfully, and act with awareness of the impact of our presence. Guard us from words that could harm ourselves or others. Keep our hearts open to reconciliation, patience, and understanding, even when emotions run high or situations feel tense. Let harmony grow where confusion or tension exists, and let respect and grace guide our actions. Be present in how we navigate daily tasks, routines, and responsibilities. Protect our focus from distraction. Guard our energy from depletion. Teach us how to prioritize, how to manage multiple demands, and how to step back when rest is necessary. Let clarity replace overwhelm. Let steadiness replace rushing. Let our work be productive without consuming our peace. Guide us in balancing effort with rest, activity with reflection, and duty with discernment. Help us move through each day without losing sight of you. Remain close as we encounter challenges, obstacles, and unexpected circumstances. Protect us from responding out of fear, frustration, or fatigue. Teach us to approach difficulty with calm, with awareness, and with faith that you are moving. Guard our decisions from being driven by impulse, impatience, or emotion alone. Let discernment, clarity, and calm guide us through uncertainty. Let your presence be a steadying force in moments when circumstances threaten to overwhelm. Keep our focus on what is within our ability to address, and let the rest rest in your care. Guard us from internal conflict, Lord. Protect our minds from cycles of doubt, overthinking, or worry. Protect our hearts from discouragement, resentment, or hidden bitterness. Father, protect our bodies from hidden illness, weakness, or fatigue. Strengthen every system, fortify every organ, and renew every cell. Restore what has been drained, repair what has been weakened, and sustain what is healthy. Guide our rest so it truly restores. Guard us from accidents, from unseen hazards, and from moments that could cause harm. Let vitality and health flow naturally through every part of us, creating a foundation for clear thinking, wise choices, and purposeful living. Guard our minds from spiraling thoughts, from endless worry, comparison, or overthinking. Help us recognize the moments when reflection becomes rumination. Redirect our attention toward clarity, understanding, and constructive action. Protect our focus so that we can move through responsibilities, challenges, and opportunities with awareness and purpose. Keep our minds alert, our discernment sharp, and our thoughts aligned with your wisdom and truth. Be present in how we manage our time, energy, and attention. Protect us from distraction, from overcommitment, from the exhaustion of trying to meet every demand. Teach us to prioritize with wisdom, to act with intention, and to rest when needed. Guard the boundaries we set so that they honor both your will and our capacity. Help us balance activity with stillness, labor with restoration, and engagement with reflection. Remain close in guiding our emotions. Protect us from extremes that destabilize, from subtle discouragement that erodes peace, and from quiet fear that whispers when life feels uncertain. Teach us to navigate emotions with awareness, integrity, and trust. Let our responses be tempered with patience, insight, and grace. Strengthen our hearts where they feel fragile. Steady our spirits where they feel shaken. Fill us with resilience, calm, and quiet joy even in the midst of ongoing challenges. Be active in protecting our relationships. Guard against miscommunication, misunderstanding, and hidden friction. Strengthen bonds that are vulnerable, restore connections that have weakened, and cultivate harmony where tension seeks to arise. Let our words be thoughtful, our listening intentional, and our actions reflective of your guidance. Teach us to nurture connection without sacrificing peace, to foster understanding without compromising integrity, and to bring patience where urgency tries to dominate. Remain present in the ordinary and the mundane. Protect the moments that seem small from being overlooked. Guard the seemingly simple decisions that quietly shape our future. Let attention, care, and mindfulness flow into everyday life. Teach us how to recognize significance in the ordinary. Guide our steps in routine tasks so that even repetition becomes an opportunity for presence, awareness, and growth. Strengthen consistency and nurture focus as we move through life's cycles. Protect our spirits in unseen battles. Guard against discouragement, self-doubt, and fear that arises quietly over time. Strengthen our trust, reinforce our confidence, and steady our hearts. Let your influence reach the parts of our souls that feel burdened, lonely, or uncertain. Sustain perseverance where patience is tested, and let hope rise continuously in moments where progress is slow. Shield our inner life so that it remains resilient, aligned, and responsive to your guidance. Be near in our daily interactions. Protect our conversations from conflict and misunderstanding. Guard our intentions from being misinterpreted. Guide our tone, words, and actions so that they reflect care, wisdom, and integrity. Teach us how to navigate complexity with grace, to respond calmly when provoked, and to act deliberately when pressure rises. Let your influence shape our presence so that others experience peace, respect, and guidance even without knowing the source. Remain active in how we manage our resources and opportunities. Guard against misuse, misjudgment, or neglect. Protect our decisions related to finances, time, and energy. Guide us toward wise investments, intentional choices, and effective stewardship. Shield our plans from interference, our efforts from frustration, and our progress from stagnation. Let discernment, clarity, and foresight flow through our decisions naturally and continuously. Protect our minds as they engage with the world around us. Shield against overwhelming information, unhelpful comparisons, and subtle distractions. Strengthen focus, deepen understanding, and clarify perception. Let awareness guide our actions so that insight arises before error. Guard our thoughts against patterns that drain energy, destabilize confidence, or foster fear. Let constructive reflection, mindful attention, and calm evaluation govern our mental life. Remain present in how we handle transitions, uncertainty, and change. Guard our stability when routines shift. Protect our adaptability when circumstances evolve. Teach us how to embrace change without anxiety, navigate uncertainty with faith, and respond to disruption with balance. Let our foundation remain steady even as the external world fluctuates. Guide our steps so that we move with alignment, confidence, and intentionality, trusting that you are present in every unfolding moment. Be active in restoring strength where it has been depleted. Protect our energy from being drained unnecessarily. Guard our attention from fragmentation. Let resilience, calm, and focus arise naturally. Strengthen our capacity to persevere, to sustain effort, and to navigate multiple responsibilities without losing clarity or balance. Teach us to recognize our limits and rest in ways that restore rather than interrupt our flow. Remain close in shaping our inner peace. Guard against fear, tension, and subtle unrest. Protect the places in our hearts that are sensitive or fragile. Teach us how to cultivate stillness, clarity, and quiet joy. Let the rhythms of rest, reflection, and engagement flow seamlessly. Strengthen our ability to navigate life's complexities without losing connection to you, to our purpose, or to our center. Be present in how we experience success, growth, and progress. Protect us from pride, distraction, or complacency. Guard our hearts from comparing achievements to others. Teach us how to celebrate growth without losing humility. Guide us to continue seeking wisdom, understanding, and guidance, even in moments where accomplishments feel complete. Let your influence shape how we measure progress, set goals, and maintain perspective continuously. Remain active in all unseen ways. Guard against subtle influences that seek to disrupt, distract, or diminish. Protect our alignment with your will in every thought, action, and intention. Sustain growth, strengthen focus, and deepen awareness. Let your presence shape every detail of our day, every internal reflection, every interpersonal interaction, and every decision we make, all without pause, all without interruption, all in constant movement that protects, sustains, and guides us in every dimension of life, mind, heart, and spirit.